I don't know if I just lost the love of my life or if I finally escaped the biggest mistake I've ever made. Hi. I'm not sure how to start this, but maybe the best way is with honesty. I am not innocent in this story. I am not the victim you might expect me to be, but I am also not the villain. I'm just someone who wanted to be loved, and I let that desire lead me into a place I never thought I'd go. I'm 25. She's 34. We met in the most ordinary way possible, at a friend's dinner party. She wasn't supposed to be there. I wasn't even planning to stay long. But sometimes the people who end up breaking you are the ones you meet when you least expect it. She laughed too loud that night. She made fun of the wine, of the playlist, of me, and somehow it felt like she was the only real person in the room. I didn't know it then, but that was the first red flag. I thought it was charm. It was something else entirely. We started talking, then texting, then suddenly it was every night until 2 a.m., as if sleep didn't matter anymore. She made me feel alive, electric, like maybe I had finally found someone who could see all the broken parts of me and not run away. She told me about her life, her work, her frustrations. I told her things I'd never told anyone. I let her in. Too quickly. Way too quickly. Within a month, I couldn't imagine a day without her. Every notification on my phone gave me butterflies. Every silence from her made me sick with worry. She had that power over me, and I gave it to her freely. The first time she kissed me, I felt like the world stopped spinning. She pressed her hand to my face like I was something fragile. She whispered, "Don't overthink this. Just feel." And God, I listened. I fell for her, hard, and falling felt like flying. Until it didn't. Because in the middle of all that intensity, I started noticing things. Little things. She never really asked about my day, but expected me to know every detail of hers. She teased me in front of her friends in ways that didn't feel like jokes. She said, "You're too sensitive," whenever I tried to explain. I told myself it was nothing, that every couple has quirks, that love means compromise. But what I didn't see was how quickly compromise was turning into control. The way she'd get irritated if I didn't answer my phone fast enough. The way she'd roll her eyes when I made plans without checking with her first. The way she said, "I love you." Not like a confession, but like a leash. And I held on, because for every moment she cut me down, there was another where she lifted me higher than I'd ever been. She'd show up at my apartment with my favorite takeout, or send me songs that felt like they were written about us. She knew exactly how to make me feel special, and exactly how to make me feel small. I didn't know then that I was being pulled into a cycle. Love, tension, conflict, apology. Repeat. But when you're inside it, it doesn't look like a cycle. It looks like love. And I convinced myself it was. The first real fight started with something small. Too small, really. I had gone out with a couple of coworkers after work. It wasn't even planned, just drinks, just casual. But when I got home and told her, her face changed. It wasn't anger at first. It was something colder. Suspicion. "Who was there?" she asked. I listed the names. When I mentioned one of them was a woman, she went silent. For a full minute, she didn't say a word. Then she laughed, this sharp, bitter laugh. "You think I don't see it? You think I don't know how men are?" I tried to reassure her. I told her it wasn't like that. But reassurance never seemed to stick with her. She needed proof, and proof to her meant control. That night she went through my phone. She didn't ask. She didn't even try to hide it. I woke up at 3 a.m. and saw her scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. She looked up at me and said, "If you have nothing to hide, why are you upset?" I told myself it was just jealousy. Jealousy meant she cared. But deep down, I felt something snap inside me. Still, I stayed. Because when morning came, she cried. She said she was just scared to lose me. She said love made her insecure. And I believed her. The next week, she showed up at my office during lunch, unannounced. She said she was just passing by, but I saw the way her eyes scanned the room, like she was hunting. When she saw me talking to a female coworker, her smile froze. Later that night, she accused me of flirting. She called me a liar. And when I tried to defend myself, she shouted so loudly the neighbors could hear. Then came the silence, her favorite weapon. Hours, sometimes days, where she wouldn't respond. No texts, no calls, just absence. And every time, I caved. I'd go to her place, beg her to talk, promise I'd do better, even though I didn't know what better meant. Her rules kept changing. No late replies, no friendly emojis with coworkers, no hanging out without telling her first. Every boundary she set, I accepted. Not because I wanted to, but because losing her felt worse than losing myself. Then came the first threat. It was after I posted a photo of myself online. Nothing inappropriate, just me at the beach. Within minutes, she called. Her voice was sharp, almost shaking. "Do you want strangers looking at you? Do you want them imagining things about you?" I said it was just a picture. She said, "If you disrespect me again, you'll regret it." I laughed nervously, but she didn't laugh back. That night, I barely slept. Her words echoed in my head like a warning I didn't want to believe. But part of me was scared she meant it. Over time, her threats became more subtle. "If you ever cheat on me, I'll ruin you. If you embarrass me, I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of person you really are. If you walk away, don't think I won't follow." And the strangest part? She always said these things right after telling me she loved me. It was like whiplash. One second, her lips on my neck, the next, her words cutting deep enough to bleed. I started hiding things, not because I was guilty, but because I was terrified of how she'd react. A text from a friend, a like on a photo, even staying late at work, all became potential landmines. I stopped going out. I stopped talking to certain people. I stopped being myself. And she noticed. She liked it. She said, "See? Now you're learning how to love me." But what she called love, I was beginning to recognize as control. The breaking point came after another fight about nothing. I don't even remember what started it. Maybe I looked at my phone too long. Maybe I didn't say "I love you" fast enough. All I remember is her voice, sharp as a knife. "You think you can walk away from me? Try it. I'll destroy you." That was the first time I truly believed her. And the first time I realized I wasn't just unhappy, I was unsafe. After that night, everything felt different. I couldn't look at her the same way. The words, "I'll destroy you," echoed louder than any "I love you" ever had. I still went to see her. I still answered her calls. But inside, something was broken. I felt like I was walking through a minefield. Every step measured, every word rehearsed, every breath cautious. She started noticing my distance. She asked why I was quieter. I said I was just tired, but the truth was, I was terrified. I kept replaying every fight in my head, every accusation, every moment she twisted my love into a weapon against me. And I kept asking myself, how did I let it get this far? The worst part wasn't the threats. It wasn't even the jealousy. It was how much I still wanted her approval, how much I still craved her affection even after everything. One evening, after another screaming match, I found myself in the bathroom, door locked, hands shaking, staring at my reflection and not recognizing the person in the mirror. I used to be confident. I used to laugh easily. I used to feel free. Now I felt like a shell of that person. My friends noticed I was pulling away. They asked if everything was okay. I lied. I said work was stressful. I said I was just busy. Because how could I explain a love that looked like devotion from the outside, but felt like prison on the inside? The next day, she sent me a text. It said, "I need you to prove you love me tonight." No explanation, no context, just a demand. And for the first time, I didn't reply. I stared at the screen until the words blurred, my chest heavy, my heart racing, and I made a choice. I turned my phone off. It was the smallest act of rebellion, but it felt enormous, like stepping into sunlight after living underground. The following morning, I had 37 missed calls, dozens of messages, some sweet, some threatening, all desperate. And in that chaos, I finally saw the truth. This wasn't love. This was dependency. This was fear dressed up as passion. This was her need for control colliding with my need for affection, and it was destroying me. I realized I couldn't fix her. I couldn't love her into being kind. I couldn't sacrifice myself just to keep her calm. So I ended it. Not with the dramatic confrontation, not with screaming or closure, just silence. I blocked her number. I deleted her photos. I cut the leash she had wrapped around my heart. But ending it didn't end the pain. I still wake up some nights expecting my phone to buzz. I still hear her voice in my head accusing, demanding, threatening. And sometimes I still miss her. That's the hardest part to admit. Because toxic love is still love. It still lingers. It still tempts you back. And I know if I let it, I'd fall into the same cycle again. So now I'm here, telling my story. Not because I have all the answers, but because I'm still searching for them. Was it my fault for staying so long? Was it weakness to love her despite the warning signs? Or was it just human to crave love even when it hurt me? I don't know. But maybe you do. So I'll ask you, what would you have done if I were you? Would you have walked away sooner? Or would you have held on, hoping she'd change? Because part of me still wonders if I made the right choice. And maybe the truth is, I'll never really know.